Holy Trilogy! Anomaly 3 is organized weirdly like Anomaly 2. Disc 1 is the 3 new songs that Flood Mangos released. Disc 2 contains the songs off of Anomaly 2. Disc 3 contains the songs off of Anomaly 1. So since all 9 of these songs are in Anomaly 3, I am going to be scoring Disc 1. Then I will be averaging it with the scores of Disc 2 and 3, which are Anomaly 2 and 1. Then I will give my final score at the end of this video. Starting off with Butterfly Effect. The instrumental in the background sounds rather dreamy and cinematic. This becomes even more apparent as the song progresses. The main electronic guitar riff of the song starts off rather muted, but then progresses to its full volume shortly after. Other instruments seem to be harmonizing rather well with this main guitar riff. You hear an acoustic guitar shortly after it starts playing, and then eventually another electric guitar starts harmonizing with it. Sometime after, an interlude appears, where an acoustic melody pops in, and there seems to be some sort of pitch changing going on, albeit it is not significant like Addiction from Anomaly 1. It plays a small part in the song. Eventually, the interlude fades away. The song starts superpowering itself. The synth starts going off. You hear so many things at once. You even hear a piano in the background, which I think is a very amazing and new addition to a Flood Mangos song. This is probably one of the best climaxes I have ever heard out of a Flood Mangos song. Eventually, the climax ends. There seems to be some sort of whoosh, but in a music sense, if that makes any sense. You end up hearing this wild yet serene acoustic guitar melody that sounds rather fast-paced. And the synth key starts playing in the background to accompany that melody. You end up hearing a little bit of an electronic guitar, and then this giant string instrument just fades in rather quickly, and it just ends the song to set something up major. It kind of sounds like a corrupted end, but instead of it sounding like a digital sort of corruption, it sounds corrupted in an analog or acoustic sense, if that makes any sense. Overall, this is a very nice song that I think trades blows with Addiction from Anomaly 1. I still think that Addiction is a tad bit better than Butterfly Effect, but I do think that Butterfly Effect does some things better than Addiction. Setup that I mentioned earlier is Butterfly Effect sonically linking into the second song of Anomaly 3, which is called Revelation. I believe Revelation has the greatest introduction that I have ever heard out of a Flood Mangos song. When the strings abruptly end, you end up hearing this muted and faint guitar melody, and as it progresses, you start to hear more variation in the notes, because it starts off monotone and then it starts to become more variable. Then eventually, the main melody kicks in, and it sounds so playful yet nostalgic. It sounds like a cloudy sunset day, if that makes any sense. Eventually, you hear this synthetic growling, which is a precursor to the second part of the song, because eventually the song whooshes and staccatos itself very quickly into a second melody. You can actually hear the main melody in the background slightly in a more monotone sense while this second melody is playing. Eventually, the main melody kicks back in while this second new melody is here, and you end up hearing these synth keys playing along as well. It sounds so convoluted and wild, yet so playful and beautiful. I guess this song is supposed to be sort of a sonic representation of nostalgia, how some of us used to play wildly as kids outside. Eventually, the song relaxes itself, and I think you end up hearing electronic guitar notes or synth key notes. I am not sure, because they sound really high-pitched. You hear them just playing while you hear this droning in the background, some very relaxing droning, and it sets itself up to something else at the end. guess what? That setup that I mentioned earlier is Revelation sonically linking into the final new song of Anomaly 3, which is called Surreal. Surreal is what I think to be the third Flood Mongo's song to be under the shoegaze genre, and in my opinion, this is the most sonically overpowering song that Flood Mongo's has ever released. He comes in with this guitar riff, which is very distorted, with nothing really going on in the background other than a droning, misty sound. Then the drums kick in, and that same melody is so loud, reverbed, and blaring. The drums are so awesome and powerful. It feels like a beating heart. If I were to visualize the sound of this song, it would probably be me overseeing thunderous, stormy clouds, and up above is a bright sun. This song is so consistent and relentless with its power, it has to be one of my favorite songs from Flood Mongo's. I think this song tops Circle of Death from Anomaly 2, and I freaking loved Circle of Death. My only gripes with the song, I wish there was a little bit more variety in the melody. I also wish that the singing voice of Flood Mongo's was a little bit louder than the instrumental so I can understand what he was saying. Also, I think this is the best showcase of the vocals of Flood Mongo's. I do think that one gripe I have with it is that there needs to be a little bit more chestiness in the voice of Flood Mongo's because it sounds rather nasally, so I really hope he could train his vocals a little bit more to have more chestiness to it. That way he could project it to be more powerful. I think the worst part about all of this is that Flood Mongo's did not provide any lyrics to this song. Instead of releasing an official visualizer, he released an official music video with no lyrics inside of the description or the video. So I tried my best to listen to this song as many times as I could to decrypt the lyrics, and I still cannot really understand them because the instrumental is just blaring over it. It really shows that you need lyrics in front of you to understand the meaning of songs of this nature. I think it is a flaw of the shoegaze genre, despite me loving the genre so much. But based on what I could decrypt and hear from the lyrics, he seems to be talking about deja vu and surrealism, which are very good meanings. I really like it. And the song does sound pretty surreal. I just have to say, Flood Mongo's did a bloody amazing job on this song, along with all of the other people involved in the making of this song. I think this is a top 3 song in the Anomaly series. As the walls fall apart, sudden fascination indicating the sign of a heart going back into its natural habits for Overall, I think Anomaly 3 is the best out of the Anomaly trilogy. This is some of the best production quality I have ever heard from Flood Mongo's. This whole extended play sounded nostalgic and very cinematic. Overall, Disc 1 of Anomaly 3 gets a 93%. Disc 2, which is Anomaly 2, was rated an 89% in the previous video, and 2 videos ago I rated Anomaly 1, which is Disc 3 of Anomaly 3, a 91%. So when I average that all out, Anomaly 3 officially gets a 91%. Thank you for watching. I am the Old One, and I am logging out. Stay alive.